Hello folks, I'm Headley, just another fat bearded man talking about records. And I thought I'd do a quick one, I'm going to try and make it quick, of some recent pickups. Some of these have been around for a while, but I've yet to show them. Anyway, so without further ado, does anyone have another way of saying that? Because I hate saying that. I didn't have to say it. Right, let's get on with it. How about that? Or let's get ready to rumble. I've already gone off the rails. Right. Okay. This is Robert Storey. This is Come Up and Hear My Etchings, a collection from 1986 to 2016. Now, I knew nothing about Robert Storey. Absolutely nothing. Before I got this record. And after I've had this record and listened to it and engaged in some of his other music, I still know absolutely nothing about him. This was a kind of a cheapo buy from Amazon. I think it was about £3 or £4. I had a listen, thought that sounds interesting. And it is very, very interesting. He was from a scene of sort of avant-garde proto-punks or punks from Brighton in England, Britain, and part of a scene of sort of avant-garde music in London during the sort of late 70s into the early 80s. But he's not very well known. He's known as sort of almost like the unsung hero of the DIY underground. Or, as he calls himself, at the dark heart of the Murphy Foundation. The Murphy Foundation being a kind of a combination of pseudonyms he's released records under. And I've made a list, actually, of all the ones he's released, which are mostly all on this. There's hardly any two songs on here that are actually... from the same kind of outfit, as it were, even though they're still him. So you've got, this is a bit of a list, Up Murphy Street, Orchestra Murphy, Plain People of England, Miners of Banal, The Nobodies, Murphy No Geisha, Seasiders, and the Murphy Federation. So, I mean, I have to say, it's possible that he isn't better known because of all these constant changes of names. What is the music like? It is kind of, I suppose, art pop, avant-garde rock, not really rocking. He has a very sort of English way of writing. He's kind of along the same lines, I suppose, in that sort of Englishness of Ray Davies, Jarvis Cocker, Ian Jury, other people that sort of look at the sort of the kind of the darkness maybe or in the mundane of English life. He's kind of like the England of the suburbs, he likes to sort of sing about. So you get songs about sex groups and parties and that go on in suburbia. And there's great tracks like, or song titles like Daydream of a Marriage Guidance Counsellor, and nice puns. He likes a good pun. So the Dog Eat Toast World. Anyway, I've found out nothing about him. He is a bit of an enigma, it seems. If you type in Robert Storey into Google, all you seem to get is references to this album, people trying to sell it or review it. And it's not even the reviews, they're more just selling it. Anyway, yeah, great stuff. I really like it. I went online, and I'll put a link to it, if I'm allowed to his Bandcamp page, where you can download for whatever price you want a number of his albums from the past, which I've done, and I'm sort of still kind of going through. But yeah, a bit of an English curio, someone that perhaps should be better known, Robert Storey.
on horses and I love divorces. They always make me smile. To think to believers should turn into deceivers at the moment of their trial.
Okay, next up we've got Fern Jones, The Glory Road. This is a repress on the Numero Group, number five, of the two albums she released. Now, this is, as the title says, Glory Road. It does sound very gospelly, and indeed, that is what it is. The write-up about it talks about her being Patsy on Jesus, or Elvis without the pelvis. So a sort of a melding of church music with the kind of the R&B rock and roll. You know, never raucous rock and roll, but very much taking influence from that the sort of southern sounds that were all around her. She was on the road for about 20 years doing the gospel circuit, playing music all around. She toured with Eddie Arnold for a while, and then she signed to Dot Records. Mac Wiseman, who was a bluegrass guy, who had worked with Bill Monroe, he signed her, or persuaded her to sign to Dot Records, and she released her first album. Now, the thing that is wonderful about this record, and the way it's been packaged, I've never seen something like this. So it's a double album of her two records, but each of the inner sleeves are done like the original album cover. So that's the album she did, Singing a Happy Song. So that was released in 1958, I believe. And you've got serious country musicians on it. You've got Floyd Kramer on piano, Hank Garland playing guitar, and Buddy Harman on drums. Lovely stuff. There it is. So I love the way they've done that. So that's the first album. And then the second album is done exactly the same way. There you go. So this is the Joneses sing, her with her husband singing. Sort of, I love the way they've just replicated the covers as those inner sleeves. Fascinating stuff. So yeah, brilliant. I really love this. The package is great. The music is great. Is there anything to see inside? No, just another picture of her and a lot of write-up. So yeah, kind of, I like that. Elvis without the pelvis. A bit of gospel R&B country from Fern Jones.
If you never saw nothing, you never heard nothing, and you never felt nothing, and you never done nothing, brother, you got no religion at all. At all. If you don't know when you got it, you don't know how to use it, well, what if you should lose it and you wouldn't even know you lost it, brother? You ain't got nothing at all. 'Cause when you get religion, you know about it. And when it comes into your heart, you just can't help but shout it. So if you never saw nothing, and you never heard nothing, and you never felt nothing, and you never done nothing, well, brother, you ain't got nothing at all.
The lovely gospel of Fern Jones. I really like that record, and it is a beautiful package from the Numero Group. John over at the Digital Gramophone made a comment on a video saying if he could only buy records from the Numero Group, do you know, he might be happy. I kind of get what he's saying. They release great records. Okay, next up we've got Ibram Fer. This is Mi Sueño, which means my dream. This was his last album before he died. Well, no, he died in 2005. this was released posthumously in 2007. It's a beautiful album. Of course, Ibram Fer was one of the members of the Buena Vista Social Club, which I was very lucky to see when they toured the UK. I saw Ibram Fer playing with them, obviously also Omera Patundo, Ruben Gonzalez. I don't think Compay Segundo was there, but yeah. Anyway, this it was a wonderful night, and if you like the Buena Vista Social Club album, I mean, this is a no-brainer. It's got Cachito Lopez playing bass on it. You've also got Manuel Gaban, who played on the original Buena Vista Social Club album. And it's just marvelous stuff. This is a romantic album of songs in the bolero style, and I just love his voice. There's a sort of he had a unique kind of almost childlike sort of, you just want to give him a hug. He just sounds so wonderful. I mean, he even recorded with Gorillaz, didn't he? So anyway, as a last album, this is a fabulous record. Really pleased to get hold of this. Amazon were doing a really bargain bin stuff on some World Circuit records, so I picked up a number, which you might be seeing in future videos. But yeah, I couldn't turn that down for a tenner. Anyway, lovely stuff. One of the best tenors I ever spent.
Cada noche un amor, distinto amanecer, diferente visión. Cada noche un amor, distinto amanecer, pero dentro de mí todo tu amor quedó. Oye, te digo en secreto que te amo de veras, que sigo de cerca tus pasos, aunque tú no quieras.
The glorious Ibram Fer. Oh, I miss him. Lovely guy. Oh, he's so lovely in the film, the Buena Vista Social Club film. He's just lovely. Anyway, sad loss. Talking about sad losses. Hey, I like to do a segue of that's lovely and smiley and happy. Yeah. So talking about other dead people, I went to see the Sadies about a month ago now, and I've seen them about 2 times previously, so this was the 3rd time. But this was the first time I'd seen them without Dallas Good, since unfortunately he died 2 or 3 years ago now. Now, I was worried that that without Dallas that they might lose something in the live environment, but that was totally not. His brother Travis Good just was electrifying, absolutely wonderful. And while I was there, I picked this up. This is an album, what's it called? It's just Rick White and the Sadies. Now, Rick White is a stalwart of the Canadian indie circuit, going from the sort of through the 80s and the 90s. He's produced the Sadies on some of their records. He also used to room share or flat share with Dallas Good, so he's a good friend of them. And while it sounds like a Sadies album, but the songs are obviously Rick White's. Now, he's a good songwriter. It just doesn't quite have the kind of kick that the Sadies have. Having said that, sonically, absolutely lovely. It's that kind of psychedelic, cosmic country. Yeah, bit of Ennio Morricone thrown in maybe here and there. And just, yeah, there's one track called, I can't even read this on my back, Here in My Body, which is the penultimate track, which is the longest track in the album. And that's a real sort of psychedelic tune, that one. So yeah, really pleased to get hold of that. Paid far more at the merch stand than I thought I would be going to for it, I have to say. But you know when they say how much it is and you go, oh yeah, that's all right, because you don't want to go bloody hell, I'm not paying that. So I paid it anyway. But I'm glad I did, because it's a great album. Rick White and the Sadies. Lovely stuff.
I came up on this wall, standing tall and strong before me, too wide to go around, no way to tunnel underneath. So I sat down and I looked around. There's no one here but me, and it seemed like there was no way past. So I got up and turned around to go back to where I was last. But to my surprise, another wall up from the ground did rise.
Okay, and finally we've got Rasa by Jody Stetcher and Krishna Bhatt. Now, as you can possibly see from the cover, this is a sort of a collaboration between the two artists. Now, Jody Stetcher came through the sort of folk and bluegrass scene, and obviously Krishna Bhatt is, as you can see, a sitar player. And there's some tablas there as well. And this is a lovely collaboration. It's from 1981 originally. This is a recent repress. But lovely collaboration. Now, Jody Stetcher actually studied Indian music to sort of really get to grips with it. And I can think that really shows that the blend of the Western and Eastern styles is seamless, and it works really well. If you've got him playing Indian stuff, or you've got Krishna Bhatt playing sort of almost Americana, bluegrass tinged stuff. It's not to say it's bluegrass, but there's elements of that. Yeah, I was really pleased to discover this. A lovely sounding record. And I'm going to leave you with a track from this, and I will see you again at some point. So until then, bye-bye for now. I'm disappearing off the edge here, aren't I? And I'm off!